Can you even see that? I mean, yeah, maybe, I don't know. For a dark album, sure wasn't as much. Hence the fact that I am not even in remotely the same color coordination that I usually am. Yeah. Yes, up in the chin. Here we go, guys. Welcome to another episode of Yes. Today we're going to review the Black Album by Weezer. Or, as others might call it, the 6th self-titled Weezer album. That gets confusing after a while. Let's just go with the Black Album. Before I delve into this, I'm going to just be upfront about something. Do I like Weezer? Yes. Am I a hardcore fan? No. There's barely much that I can really get into that any real Weezer fans would be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. No, not really. When they release something that I like, I acknowledge I like it. And then there's been plenty of moments where I really just don't care. So going into this album in particular, I didn't know really what my mindset was going to be like. But I decided, I think a lot of people are anticipating this. Let's give it a shot. The Teal album also came out. I didn't review that just because it seemed like it was more covers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like covers. But I wanted to see what this album had to say in particular. And the verdict is confusion. And I guess some letdown at the same time. But this is what I really came to it. I'm going to, got my handy notes here. 10 tracks. 5 of them I was really into in the arrangement orientation of the album, or the composition, production, those kinds of elements where the instruments were playing. I felt like, okay, I'm getting into it. And then lyrically and vocally, I don't know what to say. For real, so the songs that I liked production-wise and the actual instrumentation, Byzantine, I'm Just Being Honest, Living in LA, and the Zombie song. You know which song I'm talking about if you know the album. There's a lot that's done that kind of reminds me a little bit, because Weezer does have a particular sound, so they don't sound like all other bands that were kind of around their earlier era. But they do have this sound that I can reminisce with a little bit. And when they play their music in a certain kind of way, I want to climb on board. But there is a disconnect with the lead vocalist that just strays a little bit. And I'm puzzled as to what that is, because he's been able to hook me in before, but I don't feel like I really even got there once in this album. And that part was really a letdown, because I wanted to be able to recommend at least one song on here. Again, if there were instrumental versions of these songs, that part I would get onto, but that's not what this music is really going for. You're expecting to have lyrics with this kind of music. So I can't really say that you would only get the full energy and soul of the music if you didn't have lyrics in it. But that's also part of the problem, because there's a couple of the songs where I literally felt like it was soulless. And I'm sorry, that's not what I think they were going for. And I don't think any artist tries to put something in without heart. But it didn't come off like they were giving me something that was worth biting into. In a way, the pace of the lyrics just sound a little tired. It's like a wound clock. The outside frame, the style, that might be really great. It might be very intriguing, but it's going to go at the pace that the clock is wound at, which is kind of like what its job is, but you can't wind a band the same way as a clock. It has to have some sort of surprises. It has to give variation. It can't just have variation in how they present themselves. It needs to do something that is going to drive our ears and our minds to be like, okay, that was awesome. That's new. That was done well. so on and so forth, things like that. It's just moving along with the tick tock. Byzantine probably had the most introspective instrumentation that I could latch onto. And then we have on the complete opposite spectrum of the album, the song called High as a Kite. I at first thought it was going to be interesting because it kind of has this intro that kind of made me think of the Beatles for some reason. But as the song progresses, I'm just salivating of boredom. What went wrong? With the little production that I enjoyed, there's not much that I could go back on and actually, honestly, and with any desire, go back and listen to. That's how much of a letdown this album is to me. So after having listened and reviewed this album, with production of 88%, creativity 65%, expression and lyrics 63%, I'm going to give this album an okay. I don't know what we can tell Weezer because they've been off and on with their fans from what I understand. And I don't know. You really don't know what you can do to tell an artist, can you please make something that we enjoy a little bit better when they have moments that are like this. I don't know what to say. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to subscribe and follow all the social media for this channel so you can get the yes in your life. See you next time. Yeah, some instrumentation worked. Most of the lyrics, not interested. Some creative aspects worked. A lot of them missed their mark. It's pretty simple. It's a letdown of an album. I hope that many of you might have had a better experience. And if not,